What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. This is episode 10. I'm here with UPenn's finest, Danny Cole. We haven't been on in a week. Things happen, but we're back. We're going to be talking about our top 10 QBs by the end of next year. So we're projecting who will be the top 10 quarterbacks. We're going to be talking about the MVP ladder and some Final Four predictions, even though I don't know anything about college basketball. But before we get into that, Danny, how are you doing today?
It's a great day to talk about some football. The NFL just proposed they actually approved this overtime rule where both teams get the ball. I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll talk about it in a different episode. But it's a great day for football.
I mean, I'm not against it, but just play defense and this wouldn't be a problem. But yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into our top 10 projected quarterbacks. Just give me one quick second here. And just share that screen. All right. Just make sure. All right, everyone can see it. Top 10 quarterbacks going into next year. Who do you got one by the end of next year? I was thinking between Josh Allen and Mahomes. I think Allen might take it just simply off team success, but I'm not too sure. I wanted to hear what you thought.
It's Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes will still be the best quarterback at the end of next year. And I don't think anyone can do anything about it unless Justin Herbert or Josh Allen throw for 6,000 yards. I don't think they're going to do anything about it.
So I'll agree, but the conversation will be there simply off of people like to say, oh, well, this person had more success than this person. So, or the reason why Mahomes is still kind of known. Yeah. Because that ring, and he beat Allen head up in the playoffs, obviously because of an overtime rule. They could have probably went all night, pause. But I guess we agree. I'm assuming your two would also be Josh Allen then.
My number 2 is Josh Allen.
Okay. I see the vision. Yeah. I'll agree on that too. Man, what is up with me today? I mean, I don't know. I agree. I don't know. There's no really budging these two. These two are as close as it gets. Who are you going for 3? I think there's a lot of people that can fit at the 3 spot by the end of next year.
I'm going with the MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
You're going with Aaron Rodgers. I think that's a pretty safe take and not a popular one right now. A lot of people are high on Herbert, and unfortunately for you, I am one of those people. Herbert is my 3.
I'm really big on Herbert, but I don't think that Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers revenge tour, is that what you're going for?
I'm going for the Packers going to draft Aaron Rodgers at 3 receivers and start planning for post Aaron Rodgers life.
They're going to draft that Olave. They're going to draft that Olave.
They're going to draft Treylon Burks and
yeah, they're going to get that Treylon Burks. That's what I was thinking. They ain't getting Drake London though. Future Eagle.
He might be.
Who you rocking with 4? Because things could get dicey here. You know, we got a lot of elite quarterbacks that could fit in this 4 to 7 range. So it could get dicey. People might not like some picks. Here, since you've gone first every time, I'll go with my 4. I'm gonna go with Watson. He's a douchebag, but can't lie, dude knows how to ball. I must admit. I'm going with Watson at my 4.
I'm going to go with Justin Herbert.
I like the pick. I don't know why. I had a feeling you were gonna say Brady. I don't know why. Herbert's a good pick though. I like Herbert there. At my 5, I'm gonna go Rodgers. It's kind of weird seeing Tom Brady outside of this top 5, considering he was nearly the MVP last year. But they had to give it to Rodgers because of narrative and all that. He's not a bad pick, but yeah, Brady's still playing elite football. Some of the best football of his career, actually.
Speaking of Tom Brady, that's who I'm putting at number 5. I'll put.
You got your 5 is Brady.
I think Tom Brady might get traded to the Dolphins, and if that happens,
I think the Dolphins head coach actually just shut all that down. But Brady's at 6 for me. Yeah, Brady's at 6. He just changed this. I think we discussed this a while back about top 10 quarterbacks and stuff. But Brady coming back just changes the landscape of things. Could you imagine if he did come back just to go play for Miami? That would be insane. That'd be so insane.
Yeah. It would be incredible, and it would be nothing to say less. A Tom Brady move, but
yeah, me and my girlfriend were talking about it, And I told her, I was like, "Oh, Brady, I'm retired." She was like, "What are your thoughts about that?" Because I'm not sure either. I'm like, "Look, I don't like him. I don't like anything about him, but like, he is the GOAT. That is something only the GOAT could do. Retire for not even 2 months and be like, I'm going to come back and then going to be top 5 in MVP odds. Like, no one does that. No one could do that besides him
Exactly.
because he's that guy. So I put my 6 as Brady. Who are you putting at your 6? I'm interested to hear this.
Speaking of prior MVPs, Lamar Jackson.
Thank you. See,
Lamar Jackson.
we were just talking about, we were just in the living room. Everybody's in the living room. And I was discussing, I wrote an article about Jalen Hurts, and I basically said, look, it must come down to racism. Why some Eagles fans don't like this guy. He can play. Like if he was getting drafted this year, he'd be quarterback 1. Would you agree?
Who? Jalen Hurts?
If Jalen Hurts was in this draft class, would he be quarterback 1?
Yeah. Malik Willis would be.
Would it be would it be between him or Willis?
Yeah.
All right, as long as we're on, I think he would be quarterback 1, then Willis would be 2. I love Malik Willis. He's putting on a show in his pro day, in his combine. I just think Hurts is kind of like him, but he has NFL experience already. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have a rookie who has experience.
I think Malik Willis is Jalen Hurts with an upside of an arm.
Yeah, I see the arm upside definitely, but Hurts has probably played better competition in college. No, he has played better competition in college. I don't think that's up for debate. Yeah, so with that being said, 7, I'll go my 7 and 8. I got 7 Jackson, and I got 8 Burrow. A lot of, I don't know. I still like Joe Burrow. I got him at 8. Who are you rocking with? You can go back to back on these 7, 8.
For 7, I got Joe Burrow. And for 8, I got Deshaun Watson.
Ooh. I kind of see that's the thing, like with Brady coming back, everything. I mean, I don't think this is like insanely bold to have him in 8, but
here's my problem. He still has civil cases against him. He might not play for the Browns. He might not play for the Browns until week 9.
Jacoby Brissett's going to carry it. No, don't worry about that, man. Jacoby Brissett is going to do his thing.
About that. Can I say that Watson will be a top 5 quarterback in the league?
And he hasn't played in a year. You know, a lot of elite. I get it. He's a running back, but Bell didn't play in a year, and then he just was completely different after that. I mean, but a running back does not fall off like that. You know what I'm saying? But still, running back, quarterback, it's a little different. Now, mind you, these are our projections at the end of next year. So I'm finishing off my top 10 with a bang. At 9, I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. Number 10, I'm going to go with another TL. I'm going to go with Trey Lance. Trey Lance.
That's very bold.
Is my 9 and 10. I'm super high on these guys. And Kyle Shanahan is also super huge on Trey Lance. He literally said today, the timeline, like he's confident in in Trey Lance. He said, and this is why he literally openly said, this is why we're exploring to trade Jimmy. Like, Lance is his guy. Lance with Debo, Kittle, you know, that run game, he could get involved. He's got a strong arm, something Jimmy G doesn't have. I'm excited to see this kid, man. I really am.
For 9, hard for me not to say Russell Wilson. This man's been at the top of his game for the last 10 years.
I don't blame you, man.
He's still in his prime. He's still in his prime. I
see the vision, man. I don't hate Wilson, but you gotta get a little steamy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get a little steamy.
Yeah.
So who are you going with at 10?
Steamy. At 10, I see a really big, there's a lot of people that could slot in this spot, right?
Yeah, Carr, Stafford. Shit, you can make an argument for like Dak, Cousins, Ryan. So many guys can fit in this 10 spot.
Dak Prescott.
Who are you rocking with? You going Stafford?
No, Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott.
Oh, Dak Prescott? That's not a bad pick to me. Just think about the guys we left off this list. You got literally the reigning like Super Bowl winning quarterback. Stafford's not on either of our lists. Carr's not on either of our lists, and he just got Devontae Adams. Prescott's on yours. Prescott's not on mine. Cousins,
Let me
Cousins is
explain my
mid, so it
take
doesn't
though.
matter. But
The Prescott take really is pretty deeply rooted in the fact that I think they're going to start letting say bye bye Zeke, you're out the window. They're
a
going to
lot of
start
Tony
letting
Pollard.
a lot of Tony Pollard who can catch out of the backfield. You have CeeDee Lamb and
I was big off CeeDee Lamb coming out the draft, so I think he could
CeeDee
take a
Lamb,
step.
Michael Gallup. They're going to draft a receiver or two. They just signed James Washington, so Pittsburgh fans, it's very sad, but he's from Texas. He's slept on. No one knew how to throw him the ball in Pittsburgh because you had Big Ben. But don't sleep on Dak Prescott. Keep him on your radar.
Eagles fan, hard to admit, but yeah, if Jalen Hurts could become like Dak Prescott, no complaints, like whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Just don't break your foot. No, not
People
wood,
always
but
say that, oh my God, Dak Prescott has such a good offense. How many times have the offense been healthy on the field together? Not many.
Exactly. I mean, Dak. I mean, he hasn't been throw like Amari Cooper never fell off. He's been dealing with injury, and then Dak just doesn't throw him the ball. But it's also questionable play calling. Like Kellen Moore is kind of like a polarizing play caller. Like he's known as one of the bright young minds in the game, but then he can also just have some dud play calling performances. Like that's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when they played the Broncos, that Dallas offense looked horrible.
Sneaky candidate for entering that like 10 through 8 range is my guy. Jalen Hurts, I think he can. If the Eagles don't screw up this offseason, as in like the draft, and don't go drafting like a quarterback to hurt his confidence, even though he's completely unwavering, untamed, rare breed. But I don't know if they get him the right guys, get that defense solidified, the team's success could easily just vault him into that category as it is. We've seen what team success did for guys like Ryan Tannehill. We know he's not a good quarterback, but it vaulted him. Baker Mayfield, he lived off play action in the run game, and it vaulted him into top 10 talks. And then when he had to run an actual system because his coach was like, all right, we need to kind of elevate a little bit, he couldn't do it. Not to say I think Hurts is better than both of those dudes. I'm just saying I think the team success could really, do something for Hurts' narrative.
Am I bold to say Derek Carr is the 15th best quarterback in the NFL?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, I mean, a lot of people are high on Derek Carr because he got a new weapon. He got the best wide receiver in the game. No, but it's not at all. Like Derek Carr, he can range, I think, from like 10 to 15, maybe, but probably nothing past that because I think he is an above average quarterback. He does miss on a lot of throws. He's not like
He underthrows a lot of balls.
He does. Could you win a Super Bowl with him as your quarterback? I mean, Matt Stafford did it.
Stafford underthrew a lot of balls this playoff.
Yeah, man. But he got it done when his guy went down. He relied on Cooper Kupp, and he made it work. Not to say Kupp carried him, but like, you have to go to one guy. There's not many safer dudes than Cooper Kupp down the stretch.
Speaking of guy going down, where is Odell going to land?
He is future Philadelphia Eagle. Nah, but I have no clue where he's going. I have a feeling he might end up in Kansas City.
That would be insane. Him and Juju.
They need a guy to match Juju. And McCole Hartman. You still got Kelsey. You give him Odell. That's still a dynamic offense in my eyes. It just McCole will have to take the step up to be. He doesn't have to be as good as Tyreek Hill. He's got to be a better version of himself. Like that's just what he has to do.
I think the Chiefs might wind up signing him or Julio. If Chiefs could even bring Julio in and say, "Hey,
veteran men for both of them." veteran men, both of them. Hey. All right, man. Well, we're gonna stop the screen share there. Those are our top 10 projected QBs for next year, mind you. Not right now. They're saying the end of next year. That's what we think. I got a little more bold because of the T-Law and Trey Lance. But I'm huge on Trey Lance though. Like that's a definite for me. So we're going to move on to a little NCAA action. I don't know much about basketball. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Final four predictions. We got Kansas versus our hometown team, Villanova. They play right in Philly. And then you got what will be the last ever Coach K versus UNC. We got Duke, North Carolina. First time ever to play in the tournament. You couldn't write it up any better. I wish they could somehow meet in the final game, but it's still huge, man, for the greatest college basketball coach of all time, arguably the greatest basketball coach of all time. Who do you got? We'll start Nova, and Kansas.
Nova, Kansas. Kansas has kind of swept their way through the tournament. They cleaned it up. They've done everything they could.
Yeah, getting in and out, all business, man. I like it.
It comes
I
to
really
the
do.
end. Coaching is college basketball.
It is. Villanova runs a very clean spacing system. Like when I played in high school, we got a lot of our plays from Villanova. Just ball movement, maybe like one dribble, get it out of your hands, get the passing going. You'll find the open look.
I don't know if you've seen what Villanova does. What they do, they get to the rack and they jump step to 2 feet. When they come to 2 feet, they're more likely to be fouled. Because then they can jump off 2 feet to go lay up. They can pass off 2 feet.
I see it. Yeah, they play a very analytical style of basketball, and not a lot of colleges do that. And it's hard to. And spacing is hard in college basketball because these are NBA-sized dudes on practically a high school court. So for Villanova to create spacing, use analytics to your side, like people are like, oh, college basketball is about heart and it's just about passion and defense, but you got to get smart if you want to win these you want to beat good teams, you got to run good plays. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Kansas wins this, though. You were right. They've just been sweeping through the tournament. But I'm going to go with Villanova. If I know one thing about college basketball, it's I know they play Spurs type basketball. They love to move off ball, get not too much dribbling, not too much ISO, just get it out, get some good shots. So I think we're both going Nova on that one.
We're both going Nova. And I'll transition into ask your question.
No, I was going to move on to the next one, but if you had a last comment about that, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we're transitioning into the next one. Game of the year. Game of Coach K.
This really it, man. I mean, Coach K got upset in his last game against UNC at home. This could be like the ultimate revenge, like to leave. Not to say there's no moral losses. There, like if they were to win this, get to the championship, it's like, oh, well, we beat UNC. It's okay. No, but like if Coach K could get the last laugh against his rival, his number one rival, if he could just get the last laugh, personally, as a player, I think I could live that way. Obviously, you want to win. You want to go out on top. There's no moral victories whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Duke. You don't give Coach K too many second opportunities to get revenge. I know he's played this team a million times, but still, he lost his stamp game. It's his time to get it back, and it's also his time to get revenge for St. Peter's.
Yeah, arguably the number one overall pick in next year's draft, Paolo Banchero.
Love his game.
He's nice.
Yeah, I seen a couple of his clips last game. He's really good. Like I said, like he's kind of the opposite of Villanova. Villanova's not too many dribbles, get it out. This kid can take any player on the court and give you a bucket. Like there's not like that is so I feel rare in the college essence, especially because a lot of college game is about moving the ball around. But this kid, and even if he gets the double team, he is looking for the pass. He's a really good playmaker too. I feel like.
Yeah, he's kind of like KD. I feel like this guy would be.
I think he's a little stockier.
Yeah,
he kind of reminds me of Paul George. I think it reminds me a little bit of Paul George.
He's 6'10". Like he's huge.
He's kind of stocky for like KD, a little on the slim side, and plus he's I don't know. He reminds me, and he's a two-way guy as well. So he can play some stout defense when asked. So
yeah, but
I think Paul George is a good comparison, and yeah, I think he's the best prospect in the draft. Huge on Holmgren too, but
I think Jaden Ivey's better than Holmgren.
All right, so we got Duke, Kansas, or we got Duke Nova, fine for the championship game. Who you got winning it all? Does Coach K get his storybook ending?
Unfortunately, not. Jay Wright proves that he's a better all-time head coach than Coach K.
Wow, you're ruthless. I'm going with Coach K. I'm a storybook guy. Like I wanted Manning to win it on his way out. Like I don't know. I like when history happens. I wanted Ray Lewis to get his.
What happened? On the way out too?
You want? What'd you say?
You want Brady to win it this year then?
No, absolutely not. No, he's different. I've had enough. All right, so now moving on to some professional basketball, we're just going to talk about the latest MVP ladder. His MVP candidate or his MVP favorite, or Joel Embiid, is now at number 1. Jokic at 2, Giannis is at 3, and Jason Tatum has entered at number 4. Which Jason Tatum might be the realest player in the NBA because he knows where he stands. Like before this year, he was like, I'm not quite top 10. I'm like 12 to 15, which is what everyone would say. He's around 12 to 15. This year, he said, I got to start the season better. If I started the season better, I'd probably be the MVP. Like this kid just knows where he's at. It's like he's on social media a lot.
He probably is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, he's
If
still a young kid. He's 24 years old.
He's 19. What are you talking
Did you
about?
know him and Justin Herbert were born within the same week? Crazy. Two of my favorite athletes. Yeah, I think Tatum was March 6th and Herbert's like March 10th. They're born like 5 days within each other. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, it looks like without any barring changes, like if it comes down to a tight race, I think Embiid's got it in the bag. Unless like Giannis does, I don't know, finishes the week averaging a 30-point triple-double. Or Jokic.
Not 30. Not 30. 50-piece chicken mini.
Yeah, he gonna need a 50-piece chicken mini triple-double to end the season or something. Jokic, his team has just been dropping. Another MVP candidate who's been flying up, Luka Doncic, is now at the 4 seed. But yeah, Jokic, his team's falling down. It's not much he can really do. At this point, Giannis was my pick, and I wish the narrative is it's probably going to fall to Embiid. If you had to put money on it, I'd probably say Embiid. I still think Giannis is the rightful winner, though. I think they're tied with the Sixers for second. I think tonight they play. We're recording this on Tuesday. Tonight they play. The winner of that it could be some big implications.
Yeah, they really could.
Narratives are huge. That's what helped Tatum started to vault up. He's probably not finishing top 3 unless something terrible happens to Nikola Jokic or Giannis. If he finishes as a finalist, that's huge for him going into next year. He'll have MVP focus on. He just has to start the season better. Like these guys are consistent all the way through. With something Tatum does have on all of them, I believe, is games played because he stayed healthy, which that's not their fault, obviously. But I think it was all seen it coming. If Embiid got a healthy season, he was probably going to win MVP. It was bound to happen. The kid's great.
Yeah, I think my pick's MVP. It's got to be MVP'd. I'd even say Giannis is above Jokic right now. But
I agree. I definitely agree. Look, I don't really care about records because you have two probably a healthy Warriors are a contender, but they're never healthy, so I don't care. There's 2 contenders out west. There's 2 contenders out west. There's the Suns, who are the huge favorites in the West in my eyes, and then there's the Grizzlies because they are such a solid team without Ja Morant. And then when you throw Ja in there, you have the superpower, you have the star power to match anyone realistically, and it's just a solid team. However, in the East, the Heat are contenders. I don't care how slumpish they are. When they're at their best, they are a championship team. Bucks, they have the reigning Finals MVP. Joel Embiid, arguably best player in basketball. Boston Celtics, they have the hottest player in basketball right now, Jason Tatum. If the Bulls are fraudulent in my eyes, but if they can somehow pull it together, they're also a pretty good candidate. You know what's crazy? I think the Hawks have a better chance at making it to the Eastern Conference Finals than the Bulls. I'm just gonna put that out there. I think it's not. They are a bad team. Like that's a bad basketball team. I have so much faith in Trae Young. He is electrifying. He is so fun to watch. I think they're going to somehow get in the playoffs. If they could get the 8th seed and Miami still ends up with the 1 seed, I'd be scared. I'd be real scared of that. I don't know. I think the Sixers, Bucks, and Celtics do not have to worry about playing the Hawks. It's a little too much defense for them to handle. But man, the Heat got defense too, but when your best player is not hitting his shots like Jimmy is, it could really get bad. It could get bad. We seen what happened last time when someone who can't score played Trae Young, but yeah, I'm saying. I'm excited for these playoffs. It's going to be all good. There's not going to be a single bad series.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Except for whoever plays the Cavs. Whoever plays the Cavs is going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, but you have the Nets like an 8 seed right now. Come on, the Nets might not make the playoffs. They could lose. They could literally lose the playing
They
game.
could easily, yes, they could. They're no, I think they're the 9 seed actually. No, they're the 9 seed because they just lost to the Hornets the other night. So really, they have to play Trey for one game. I'd probably take the Nets because Kevin Durant would abuse them because they're a bad defensive team. But I don't know. Yeah, I would probably pick the Nets, but that's a scary game. That is a scary game to play.
It's very scary, and well, I guess we'll see the outcome when that happens.
All right. Well, we're excited for the playoffs, but that's about all the time we have. Thank you all for
One
tuning
last
in.
thing
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
before we go, the 2 MVP candidates face off tonight. I think
Yes, they do.
MVP.
In my eyes,
Embiid,
whoever wins gets MVP. Don't care.
I'm not a big fan of that, but if Embiid comes out here, drops 40, locks up Giannis, it's going to Embiid.
He's not locking up Giannis. All right. Well, what if Giannis comes out here and drops a 50-piece chicken mini, and then he's the MVP? He's the best player in basketball. He's the best player in basketball.
In the world. In the world.
Damn. He's the best player on the planet.
In the universe.
All right. Well, yeah, basically the universe, unless there's some alternate reality, Michael Jordan or whatever. But that's everything for us today. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Belly Up Sports for giving us this platform to post on all platforms and on YouTube, all that stuff. From me and Danny Cole, we will talk to y'all next Wednesday. We're going to be dropping single episodes to give y'all some more full and better content every week. Going to be covering a lot of stuff from here on out. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in next week. Peace.
Hey.